the ancient enigma of dreams. Close your eyes and allow yourself to drift, as countless generations have drifted before you. Let your breath become slow and steady. Inhale gently and exhale fully. With each breath, you're entering a space older than memory, older than history itself. This is the space of dreams. For as long as humans have gazed at the stars or walked the earth by firelight, they have wondered, what happens when we sleep? Where does the mind wander when the body is still? Dreams, they are fragile, like smoke. They are vivid, like lightning. They can be as gentle as a whisper, or as overwhelming as a storm. And yet, even though they vanish at dawn, they have left their mark on every culture, every age, every human heart. Dreams in ancient traditions. Let us travel back in time. Imagine the flicker of firelight in a cave. The night is cool, the earth beneath is firm, and the air carries the scent of smoke and soil. A group gathers close to the fire, eyes wide, listening. One of them begins to share a vision from the night before. A great hunt, a river, a beast with glowing eyes. For these early dreamers, visions of the night were not dismissed as illusions. They were messages, guiding signs from the unseen world. In ancient Egypt, dreams were so important that entire books were written about them. On sheets of papyrus, scribes carefully recorded the visions of kings and commoners alike. Each symbol was catalogued, each image interpreted. A dream of the Nile overflowing, a sign of abundance. A dream of serpents, a warning, perhaps, of betrayal. In Mesopotamia, clay tablets carried similar records. Imagine the weight of the clay, etched with cuneiform symbols, some of the earliest writing humans ever created. Among those symbols were accounts of dreams, treated as revelations from the gods. A dream could decide whether a king went to war, or whether a temple was built, or whether a marriage was blessed. Cross to Greece, and you find the philosophers, Aristotle, lying awake at night, wondered about the source of dreams. Plato speculated that they revealed higher truths, and the people themselves turned to the temples of Asclepius, the god of healing. Pilgrims would sleep in these sacred sanctuaries, hoping their dreams would bring visions of cures. For them, the dream itself was medicine. In China, dreams were thought to be journeys of the soul. Taoist traditions suggested that while the body rested, the spirit traveled to distant realms, meeting ancestors, learning secrets, and bringing wisdom back upon waking. A dream wasn't just a thought, it was a voyage. In India, the Upanishads, ancient spiritual texts, described dreams as a bridge between waking life and higher states of consciousness. They taught that in dreams, the self touched something beyond ordinary existence, a glimpse of ultimate reality. Across the ocean, in the traditions of indigenous peoples of the Americas, dreams were woven into daily life. For the Iroquois, dreams were considered unfulfilled desires of the soul. If ignored, they could cause harm. For the Lakota and Ojibwe, dreams were sacred instructions, guiding not only individuals, but entire communities. From these beliefs came the dream catcher, a symbol still recognized today. The web is said to trap harmful visions, letting only the good ones pass gently into sleep. And in Africa, among the Zulu people, dreams were regarded as visits from the spirits of ancestors. A dream could bring blessings, warnings, or wisdom from beyond the veil. In other regions, dream sharing was a vital part of community life, a way of staying connected to one another and to the spiritual world. Pause here and let that sink in. Everywhere on earth, in every culture, dreams were never taken lightly. They were not just dreams, they were sacred. They were maps, they were messages. Dreams in the modern world. As centuries passed, the fire gave way to lamps, lamps gave way to electricity, and still dreams lingered. The rise of psychology brought a new lens. Sigmund Freud, in his quiet study, proposed that dreams were the key to the unconscious. He believed they carried hidden wishes, disguised in symbols and metaphors. A dream, he said, was like a puzzle, and by solving it, one could uncover desires too deep, too uncomfortable to admit in waking life. Carl Jung, his student, stepped further. He suggested that dreams were not only personal but collective. They carried universal images, what he called archetypes: the wise old man, the hero, the shadow, the mother, symbols that appeared again and again, across time and cultures, as if humanity itself shared a common dream. Think of that for a moment, that the dreams you dream tonight, in your quiet bed, may carry the same symbols dreamt by someone thousands of years ago, half a world away. A river, a mountain, a bird, a stranger's face, woven into the great tapestry of human imagination, the unanswered mystery. And yet, even with all this wisdom, one question remains. Why do we dream? Science offers many answers. Some say dreams are the mind's filing system, a way to sort through the day's experiences, choosing what to keep and what to discard. Others say they are rehearsals, practice for real life, a way to prepare for danger, to test out possibilities in the safety of the night. Some argue they are simply random, neurons firing in chaos, with no meaning at all. But none of these explanations feel complete, because if dreams were meaningless, why do they move us so deeply? Why do we wake up in tears, or laughter, or wonder, or awe? Why does a dream linger in the heart, long after it fades from memory? Perhaps the truth is this: dreams remind us that the mind is not only logical, not only rational, it is also poetic. It speaks in symbols, in stories, in whispers and riddles. It reveals itself not only in waking thought, but in the vast theater of the subconscious, an invitation to reflect. As you breathe slowly now, imagine yourself standing at the edge of that theater. A vast curtain hangs before you. Behind it, a stage where stories unfold each night, without your control, without your choosing. And yet, those stories belong to you. They are drawn from your memories, your emotions, your hidden depths. Every night, you enter that stage. Every night, you become both actor and audience. Every night, you step into the mystery. Dreams are part of what makes us human. They link us to the ancients who sat by the fire, to the philosophers who asked questions in the night, to the psychologists who searched the hidden corners of the mind. They link us to one another, and to ourselves. So tonight, as you listen, let this truth settle softly within you. We are dreamers, always, and though dreams may vanish with the dawn, their mystery continues to glow, like embers, in the quiet corners of our hearts. And now, we stand on the threshold of something new. For thousands of years, we could only wonder about dreams. But today, in the hum of laboratories and the glow of modern machines, we begin to glimpse an answer. What if we could not only remember our dreams, but truly see them? What if the veil could be lifted, not by shamans or philosophers, but by science itself? This is where the journey leads next, to the astonishing frontier of neural interfaces. Neural interfaces, bridging the mind gap. We leave behind the firelight of ancient nights. We step forward, gently, into the quiet hum of laboratories, the glow of modern machines. For thousands of years, dreams were mysteries told in stories, painted in myths, written in sacred texts. But now, in our time, a new chapter begins. This chapter is written not with clay tablets, not with papyrus, not with ink on paper, but with electricity, with signals, with sensors, with the whisper of neurons firing in the brain. This is the world of neural interfaces. What are neural interfaces? Pause for a moment and imagine this. Your brain, though it feels silent, is never quiet. Right now, even as you rest, millions of neurons are firing. Each one sends tiny pulses of electricity, sparking and connecting, like stars across the night sky. For centuries, we could only wonder what those sparks meant. Now, we can listen. A neural interface, sometimes called a brain-computer interface, or BCI, is a bridge between the world of the mind and the world of machines. It is a way of capturing those faint signals, those tiny sparks, and turning them into something we can measure, record, and even use. Electrodes, placed on the surface of the scalp, or even within the brain, can pick up the faint rhythm of thought. Algorithms, careful, precise, mathematical, begin to interpret those signals. A thought, a movement, an intention, translated into data. What was once invisible becomes visible. What was once locked inside the mind can now cross into the outer world. Current applications. Small miracles. This might sound like science fiction, but it is happening already. Picture someone who has lost the ability to move their body. For them, a neural interface can act as a new pathway by connecting electrodes to the brain and decoding the signals of intention. The faint thought of "move my hand," machines can respond. A robotic arm can lift a glass of water. A cursor can move across a screen. Words can be typed, not by fingers, but by thought alone. For those who cannot speak, brain-computer interfaces can provide a voice. A thought becomes a letter. A sequence of letters becomes a word, and suddenly, the silence is broken. The inner world finds its way into the outer one. Pause for a breath here, and notice the miracle in this, that something as intangible as a thought, invisible, silent, private, can now become action, sound, communication, the science beneath the surface. How does it work? Imagine the brain as an orchestra. Each neuron is an instrument, playing its own note. Some play loudly, some softly, some in quick bursts, others in long, steady tones. Together, they form a symphony. But to our ears, this music is silent. Neural interfaces are like microphones placed near the orchestra pit. They don't capture every note, not yet, but they can pick up patterns, a rhythm here, a harmony there. With enough practice, the algorithms begin to tell. This pattern means movement. This one means rest. This one might mean a word, or even an image. Electroencephalography, or EEG, records signals from the scalp. It's non-invasive, gentle, though faint. Implants, placed closer to the neurons, offer sharper detail, though at a greater cost. In both cases, the goal is the same: to listen to the mind, to translate thought into signal, signal into action, action into connection, the dream connection. And now, pause. Imagine this. If we can read the signals of waking thought, what about the signals of dreaming? Dreams are, after all, built from the same raw material as waking life. The firing of neurons, the symphony of the brain. If a neural interface can hear the pattern of intention when you move your hand, perhaps, someday, it could hear the pattern of imagination when you dream of flying. Already, researchers are trying. Early experiments suggest that brain activity during dreams can sometimes be matched to images, shapes, or emotions. It is as if the orchestra of the sleeping mind is beginning to reveal its hidden music, a gentle reflection. Think of it this way. For centuries, dreams felt like messages written in an unknown language, beautiful, mysterious, but unreadable. A neural interface is like a translator, slowly learning the grammar of the subconscious. Not perfectly, not yet, but step by step, signal by signal, whisper by whisper, and with each breakthrough, we come closer to a future where dreams are not only remembered, but recorded, not only fleeting, but shared. Gentle pause, slow breath, from the quiet fires of the ancients to the steady hum of machines. We are moving closer, ever closer, to understanding the vast, uncharted world of dreams. But this is only the beginning. Next, we will journey deeper into the first fragile attempts to decode dreamscapes themselves. Early experiments, breakthroughs, glimpses of what might one day be the Rosetta Stone of dreams. Decoding dreamscapes, early attempts and breakthroughs. And so we drift further from the steady rhythm of waking thought into the fragile landscapes of sleep. The ancients gazed at their dreams with wonder. Modern science built the tools to listen to the brain. And now, a new question arises, gentle but profound. If we can read the signals of waking thought, can we also decode the signals of dreams? The first attempts? Close your eyes and imagine. A person lies sleeping in a laboratory. Sensors rest gently on their scalp. Machines hum softly nearby. The room is dim, hushed, waiting. Outside the sleeper's mind, scientists watch the glowing traces of brain activity appear on their screens. Waves of electrical rhythm, rising and falling. At first glance, it looks chaotic. But within that chaos, there are patterns, bursts of activity, surges of motion, signals that flicker like lanterns in the night. These were the first attempts to catch the dream in the act. In the mid-20th century, with the discovery of REM sleep, rapid eye movement, scientists realized that the dreaming brain was not quiet, but alive with energy. During REM, the brain lights up almost as if awake. The eyes flicker beneath closed lids, the heart races, the body lies still, but inside, a storm of images unfolds. Researchers began to wonder, could these signals be mapped? Could we see, in some way, what the dreamer sees? Reconstructing imagery. In recent decades, technology has stepped closer to that possibility. Imagine someone lying inside an fMRI scanner, the magnetic field tracing the flow of blood in their brain, moment by moment. The patterns shift as they sleep. Here, a region tied to vision. There, a region tied to emotion. Now, imagine pairing those brain scans with powerful algorithms trained to recognize patterns. When the dreamer wakes, they describe what they saw. A house, a face, a bird in flight. The researchers match those descriptions with the brain patterns recorded. Slowly, carefully, they begin to teach the machine. This pattern means a face. This pattern means a shape. This one, perhaps, means movement. In Japan, a team of researchers achieved something extraordinary. They were able to reconstruct faint, blurry images of dream content using brain scans and machine learning. Not sharp, not detailed, but enough to suggest that the veil was lifting. A dream of a person produced the ghostly outline of a face. A dream of an object showed the faint suggestion of its form. It was as though, for the very first time, the dream had left a footprint in the waking world. The challenges of the subconscious. And yet, the dream world is not an easy place to map. Unlike waking thoughts, which are focused and directed, dreams are fluid. They shift without warning. A bird becomes a ship becomes a voice. Time bends, space folds, logic dissolves. For science, this is a challenge unlike any other. How do you decode a story that changes even as it is being told? How do you capture something that vanishes the moment you look at it? The signals of the brain are vast, and each mind is unique. What means river to one dreamer may mean something entirely different to another. The orchestra of the mind does not play the same tune twice. And yet, even within this complexity, patterns emerge, themes, emotions, symbols that repeat, like threads woven into a tapestry, faint but visible, guiding the way forward. The Rosetta Stone moment. Imagine, for a moment, what a true breakthrough might look like. A device, small and gentle, rests against the head of a dreamer. Signals flow silently to a computer, where an algorithm trained on millions of hours of data translates them into images, words, even moving scenes. On a screen nearby, the dream unfolds in real time, not perfectly, not at first, but enough to recognize a forest, a friend's face, a doorway. For the first time in history, we could watch a dream as it happens, not a memory, not a retelling, but the dream itself. This would be the Rosetta Stone of dreams, the key that unlocks a language spoken since the dawn of humanity, the first bridge between the private theater of the mind and the shared world of waking life. A gentle reflection. Pause here. Take a slow, deep breath. Imagine what it would feel like to wake in the morning and not only remember your dream, but see it, to hold an image, a recording of the world you visited while asleep. Would it change the way you view yourself? Would it bring comfort, or curiosity, or perhaps unease? Dreams have always been fleeting, vanishing like mist in the morning sun. Perhaps part of their beauty lies in that fragility. But now, as science moves closer, we may find ourselves facing a new kind of intimacy. An intimacy with our own subconscious, from the first faint signals to the ghostly outlines of dream images. Science is taking its first steps into the landscapes of sleep, but decoding is only half the story. What if we could not only read dreams, but also influence them? Our journey now turns to a place both exciting and delicate, to the possibility of guiding dreams, of shaping the subconscious itself. And so we move, gently, into our next chapter. The ethics and excitement of influencing dreams, influencing the subconscious. The ethics and excitement. We have traveled far, from the firelit stories of the ancients, to the quiet laboratories where dreams are first being decoded. Now, a new horizon rises, not only the ability to see our dreams, but the possibility to shape them. Pause for a breath here, let the idea settle. For thousands of years, we believed dreams were gifts from beyond, untouchable, fleeting, arriving on their own mysterious rhythm. But what if, in the very near future, dreams could be guided? What if the vast theater of the subconscious became a space we could enter with intention? The potential for healing. Imagine someone who suffers from recurring nightmares, haunted each night by memories of trauma, unable to rest, unable to find peace. Now imagine a gentle technology that can step in during sleep. As the nightmare begins, signals are detected, a soothing sound is played, a comforting image is introduced into the dream. The terrifying story shifts, softens, and transforms. This is not fantasy. Early studies suggest it is possible for those living with post-traumatic stress disorder. Dream-influencing therapies could bring real relief. The mind, gently guided, may learn to rewrite its own stories. The potential for learning and growth. Dreams are not only about memory, they are about imagination. Think of the moments when you wake with a new idea, a melody, a solution, something your waking mind struggled to find. If dreams are spaces of creativity, what might happen if we could nurture that space intentionally? Some researchers imagine learning while dreaming. Languages, skills, new knowledge, absorbed not through conscious effort, but through the gentle rhythms of sleep. Others imagine using dreams to spark innovation, entering sleep with a question and awakening with an answer, drawn from the deeper layers of the mind. Pause here and let yourself feel the possibility that sleep could become not only rest, but transformation, the potential for connection. Dreams have always been private, held within the mind of the dreamer. But what if they could be shared to people connected by neural interfaces, entering dreams that overlap, where images align, where experiences are mirrored? Shared dreamscapes, a new frontier of connection, blurring the lines between self and other, between solitude and togetherness. Imagine walking with a loved one through a dream garden you both create. Imagine communities gathering in a shared dream, like meeting by the fire in ancient times, but now in the limitless landscapes of the subconscious. The ethical dilemmas. But here, we must pause, because with great possibility comes great responsibility. If dreams can be influenced, who decides how? If dreams can be guided, who holds the reins? Privacy of thought has always been sacred. Your dreams belong only to you. But what happens if technology can enter that space? Could advertisers plant suggestions, quietly weaving desires into the fabric of sleep? Could governments or corporations seek to mold not only what we buy, but what we believe, what we imagine, what we dream? The subconscious is the deepest part of us. It is where our fears, our hopes, our sense of self reside. To touch it is powerful. To misuse it would be dangerous. The balance between wonder and caution. And so, the future of dream-influencing technology must be held with care. There is beauty in the idea of healing trauma, unlocking creativity, building connection, but there is also risk. Risk of manipulation, loss of autonomy, intrusion into the most private sanctuary of the mind. Like fire, dream-influencing technology can warm, or it can burn. The choice rests in how we guide it, how we regulate it, how we protect the dignity of the human mind. A gentle reflection. Close your eyes for a moment, and imagine a dream of your own, perhaps one you remember clearly, or perhaps only a fragment. Now imagine that dream shifting, gently guided by a soft hand. The fear fades, the story bends, the landscape becomes calm and luminous. Feel the relief, the peace, the sense of safety that brings. Now imagine that same dream, but shaped not by your will, not by your healing, but by another's agenda. A product placed, a message whispered, an influence you did not invite. Do you feel the difference? Do you feel why this frontier is both exciting and delicate? The call for responsibility. As we move forward, the challenge will be to hold both truths, the wonder of possibility and the weight of responsibility, to ensure that dream-influencing tools are used for healing, for learning, for connection, and never for manipulation. To create laws, safeguards, ethical guidelines strong enough to protect the most private frontier of all, the human subconscious. Because to touch a dream is to touch the essence of the self. And so, we find ourselves standing at the edge of a great choice, a doorway into a future where dreams can be not only remembered, not only decoded, but shaped. The excitement is vast, the risks are real, and beyond both lies a question even deeper. If we can explore, record, and influence dreams, what will that mean for our understanding of who we are? This brings us to the final chapter of our journey, the future of our inner world, the future of our inner world. And now, we arrive at the final chapter of our journey, From the fires of the ancients to the laboratories of today, from the first fragile dream records to the bold experiments of neuroscience, we stand here on the threshold of a future where dreams are no longer fleeting mysteries, but living landscapes, explored with intention, shared with others, and perhaps reshaping what it means to be human. Personalized dreamscapes. Close your eyes and imagine this. Each night, as you drift into sleep, you step not into random, shifting chaos, but into a dreamscape crafted with care. Perhaps you walk through a forest of shimmering light, where every leaf sings softly as you pass. Perhaps you float through a city in the clouds, a place of endless curiosity and play. Perhaps you meet with loved ones, sharing laughter in a space beyond distance and time. In the future, neural interfaces may allow you to choose not every detail, not every story, but the texture of the dream, the mood, the atmosphere. A night of rest may mean drifting through a meadow. A night of creativity may mean exploring an ever-shifting gallery of art. A night of healing may mean meeting a gentle guide, a symbol of comfort from deep within yourself. Each dream, a sanctuary, each night a journey, shared dream experiences. Now imagine something even more astonishing, that dreams, once private and solitary, become shared. Two people, connected by subtle interfaces, find their dreamscapes merging. They meet in a dream garden, holding hands, walking beneath trees of light. Friends across oceans could gather in a shared dream hall. Communities could meet in vast dream festivals. Entire families could reunite, not through screens, but through dreams. The loneliness of distance could soften. The boundaries of separation could blur. We could find new ways of being together. Not in waking cities, but in limitless inner landscapes. Pause here and feel what that might mean, that the space of sleep, once private and unreachable, could become a new realm of connection, enhanced self-understanding. But beyond the beauty of shared experience, there lies something even deeper. The possibility of knowing ourselves more fully than ever before. Dreams have always been mirrors. They show us fears, desires, memories, symbols drawn from the well of the subconscious. With dream technology, those mirrors may become clearer. Patterns could emerge. Themes of joy, of sorrow, of longing, of growth. We could begin to see the architecture of the self, layer upon layer, revealed through the language of dreams. Imagine discovering not only who you are today, but who you are becoming. Imagine glimpsing the quiet voice of your deepest self, not in fragments, but in full, radiant clarity. This is more than technology. This is transformation, philosophical implications, and yet, with every step forward, new questions bloom. If we can see our dreams, if we can shape them, if we can share them, what does that mean for the boundary between self and other? Where do I end and you begin? If our subconscious minds intertwine, what does it mean to wake? If the dream feels just as vivid as the day, will reality itself begin to feel different, woven with threads from the subconscious? And what of memory? If dreams can be recorded and revisited, will they become like films we watch again and again? Or will they lose the fleeting beauty that makes them precious now? These are not just technical questions. They are questions of philosophy, of spirit, of what it means to be human. A gentle vision of the future. Let yourself imagine, just for a moment, a world where this technology has matured. Each night, people enter personalized dream sanctuaries, finding rest, healing, creativity. Each morning, they wake not only refreshed, but inspired, carrying back treasures from the subconscious. Communities gather in shared dreamscapes, creating art, music, stories, in worlds limited only by imagination. Children learn languages in their dreams. Artists find visions beyond what waking thought could give. Those in pain find comfort. Those in grief find moments of reunion. Those in search of meaning find guidance. And through it all, we begin to realize something profound. That dreams were never separate from life. They were always part of the great continuum of being, a hidden half of our human story. Technology does not create dreams, it simply reveals them, and offers us the chance to walk within them more fully. Take a slow breath, inhale and exhale. We have traveled together tonight, through time, through myth, through science, through possibility. We began with the ancient fires, with shamans and philosophers. We moved through the rise of neural interfaces, the first attempts to decode the language of dreams. We explored the delicate power of influencing the subconscious, and the responsibility that comes with it. And now, we stand here, imagining the future of our inner world, a future where dreams are not lost to the morning light, but embraced, understood, and shared. The ultimate frontier is not outer space, it is not the depths of the ocean, it is the vast landscape within, the human subconscious, the infinite theater of the dream. And so, as you rest now, let this thought guide you gently, that your dreams, fragile and fleeting though they may seem, are windows into the deepest truths of who you are, and perhaps, one day soon, with the help of gentle, mindful technology, those truths will shine more clearly, lighting the way to a future where we are more connected, more creative, more whole. The journey of dreams is never-ending. It began long before us, and it will continue long after. For tonight, rest in the wonder of it. Let your breath slow, let your body soften, and step gently into the world of your own dreams.